I'm waiting for the live notification. Nothing yet. I am copying the link and I'm going to share it on Facebook. Where is the share button? Share, copy link. Share.
Hello everyone and welcome to Cookies Enabled. This is Will. I am your host, and next to me here is Andrew, my editor. We are still kind of struggling getting some things booted up and logged into the screen and the systems here and whatnot. But we hope you guys are all tuning in. We got some awesome topics for you guys today. We are definitely going to be covering really a broad spectrum of science today. I mean, we're going from geology to space to robots to all kinds of stuff. So I mean, we're literally kind of all over the place. Old technology, new technology. It's kind of cool. We're really covering it all today. So I guess, should we start with the news you just got us with the Virgin Galactic launch? Because I actually really want to see this video. This sounds really cool.
Yeah. Let me know we're about to hit play, and I'll pull it up on my end too so you guys can see.
Yeah, bear with me here.
Galactic, they've been working on this for quite a while. Now they've taken like a slightly different approach to spaceflight than a lot of other companies. Instead of using a rocket booster to get their craft up to space, they have a double-hulled plane that drops the spacecraft. I'm gonna echo again.
You got an echo again? Oh, no. Sorry, that's probably on my end here. Let me see. How about now?
Well, give it a second.
Yeah.
The videos also be... Oh, there we go. Video looks good there. I'm listening to see if it works.
That is so cool. I mean, I'm watching this plane. It's I don't even know what to call it. Spacecraft? I mean, because now it's actually in space. I mean, it's like rotating itself. This is really awesome.
But no, they drop it from this dual-hulled plane, like airplane, and then, since it's already going, it ignites its thrusters and goes higher into orbit. So it's a different approach. I think it's really cool. It's a beautiful looking ship. This will be more for space tourism.
Right.
The whole Virgin companies are pretty cool. You know, Richard Branson, I've always been a pretty big fan of his. He seems pretty cool.
Right.
A little less contentious than some of the other CEOs out there, for sure. And
I would say so. I would say he's a little more level-headed than the average CEO.
Yeah, and
Maybe. I
yes, it's
mean,
space tourism right now, but it could be used for scientific missions in the future.
that's what I would
And
see this as.
some
Yeah.
people think, why are we even spending the money on this? But I hear that argument all the time. Why are we spending money on space travel when we should be fixing everything going on here on Earth? At the same time, so many of our technological advancements have come from space travel, from
Thank you.
space
Yes,
exploration.
that's
And
a key one. Yeah.
also, at the end of the day, you have to find some way to fund these projects.
Right.
And when you have a bunch of rich people willing to throw down a ton of money
Mm.
to
Mm-hmm.
go to space, then
Why
that's a
not?
good way to to fund them, at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
So I mean, some of the politics of that we're not going to get into. That's not our channel.
No, we're not an opinion
But
channel.
at the end of the day, it's really cool to watch.
Nope.
I
Yeah,
love
I'm like
seeing
watching this
these
loop. It's looping back
advancements.
again. This is so
It's
cool.
a beautiful ship. If you notice along the back of the fuselage, they have the images, the
Yeah,
silhouettes of the previous craft, which I think is really cool,
that is
showing
so cool.
the evolution and where it's come from.
Mm-hmm.
But um, yeah,
It,
it's a really interesting concept that they've been working on. This is, it says first ever space flight from New Mexico. So they have launched these before, but
oh,
this is
definitely
out
done
of
this
their
before.
new, this is
Yeah.
out of a different base that they're working from. So they've done it already, but this is the first from this facility. I think it's still pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm really loving this video. Yeah, this is really awesome. I'm letting it play. It's almost done with the second time here. They're about to re-enter the atmosphere here again. But no, this is really extraordinary. I mean, this used to take every ounce of computing power and human power and engineering power. I mean, every ounce of any that you have as a country just to get to space. And now, like you're saying, it's becoming more of a commercial thing. And it's a little unfortunate that maybe it's that it's completely privatized at the moment. But again, I really think this will start opening a lot of doors that were exclusively with NASA pretty much for the longest time. And now you've got SpaceX, you've got Virgin, you've got NASA, so you've got a few others all doing different launches, different things, and this is really a little more than revolutionary is what I would like to say. It's because it's trying to push the boundaries of what's normal, and for the better of humanity, because this could definitely become something of the future. There was technically there was an article I read that was stating that Russia may be trying to build a new spacecraft that can go from our moon to like Venus and or Jupiter and back. Like it's like a rotational, kind of trip you go on or something. And they could do experiments and research and learn about the planets and other things in this spacecraft and whatnot. There's rumors that NASA might be building or trying to build some kind of new space station around the moon or whatever. I don't have
Well, they've
any.
been looking at
I don't
that
know.
for
Yeah,
a
I'm not.
while.
Yeah.
I think eventually it'll happen, but I mean, yeah, you could talk about the merits, the pros and cons of privatization
Yeah.
all day. In the current atmosphere, though, it's really the only way to secure the funding
It really is.
because
Yeah.
it's like pulling teeth to get the federal government to fund NASA to the extent where
Yeah.
it could do what is necessary.
Yeah.
What really helped out during the space race and the Cold War was it was a concerted national effort of we have to get to the moon first,
Right.
and they would just pour tons of money to make it happen quickly. They the one issue was they did kind of skirt on some safety issues
Right.
once in a while. We had some disasters, but at the moment, the
I don't
NASA
know. They've been
doesn't
very
have the
successful. I
money.
want to say, like
Now, if
even
you took those billions of dollars and threw it back at NASA and
right.
said, think some new shit up, they'll do it.
They did.
And they
They
still
definitely
are.
did.
They're still doing amazing things. The Curiosity rover, we have
Yes.
Perseverance. At the same time,
Yes.
imagine what they could do with, 10 times the funding
Right.
and also 10
Absolutely.
times the public interest. Now, the public interest is what can really get the government to fund it.
Right.
As a company, you don't necessarily need public interest as long as you have the money, which they do. And they also do have the public interest because they're very good at, public relations and getting people excited.
Right.
Virgin Galactic, SpaceX, Blue Origin is starting to climb
Are
a
they?
little bit in the ranks.
Okay. Huh.
But they haven't really done that much. It's also tied, obviously, to Jeff Bezos, and
Right.
that kind of leaves a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths for good reason. Um,
Yeah, I don't blame them there.
but I
No.
mean, I'm all for any sort of space exploration, but I'd like to see it more from something like Virgin Galactic,
Right.
SpaceX, the European Space Agency. It looks like the space launch system is a little ahead of schedule, which is, I think, it's Boeing that is helping
Yeah.
to work on
Yep.
that. The Orion capsule, I believe it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new launch system. So it's
Pretty
sort of
cool
like the
stuff.
electric car market. It shouldn't just be one taking care of everything. You need everybody
Exactly.
doing their own thing, and eventually, I
Yeah.
mean, it's healthy competition between these companies.
Absolutely.
So the more it happens, the more we're going to see coming out of these either government agencies or private companies. So I think the next 5 years, we're going to see some really cool stuff. We already have SpaceX today is about to launch their fourth Falcon 9 of this month. So they are really
Wow.
ramping up the schedule. It's a
Wow,
Starlink
they did.
launch again. It's going
Whew.
up at 3. So if anybody wants to check it out, 3 p.m. is about when it's going to start. If you check out SpaceX's YouTube channel, they always, if you, like you should with our channel, if you hit the bell icon, it'll give you a
Right.
notification when they go live
It'll
or when
definitely do
they post a video.
that.
And again, it's routine, but still, what's not routine is launching 4 launches in a month.
Yeah, that is
It
pretty
used to
rare.
be almost one every 2 weeks, but they are
Right.
really ramping up
If
their
that.
schedule.
Huh.
So,
Wow.
um, no news, unfortunately,
Huge
from
step up.
Boca Chica. Well, a little bit of news from Boca Chica. I know
Little?
last week we talked that they might be reflying SM-15. We're still not sure. Latest I can tell is they removed another Raptor engine from it, so it could be testing, it could be replacing. We don't
Hmm.
know. They are starting to build the launch tower there, which I
Okay.
believe be used. Um, there might be like grappling arms on the side to
Right.
help
I remember you talking about
sustain,
the steady
one of
arms
the
or whatever.
one
Yeah,
of the
just kind of hold
starships
it in
once it
place.
lands. Because
Right.
again, it has to land right back on the launch pad, refuel, and go up again.
Right.
And this is going to be a really huge tower. They had to cobble together cranes like piecemeal from
Oh,
a bunch of
jeez.
different. It looks like a Lego crane. I think that
Wow.
one of the nicknames is the Lego crane or Connects or Technic because it's
Yeah.
all
Connects
multicolored
crane.
and rigged.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah,
as
I know
big
exactly what you're talking
as
about.
necessary. But so they're still working over there. They're still making advances. I think relatively soon we'll hear some more coming
Right.
from Starbase, as we can, instead of Boca Chica, we can now officially call it Starbase. They've got their signs lit up, and I'm really excited in the next few weeks to see what we get from them.
Me too. This is going to be really a lot of news from space, which is pretty awesome. I mean, I feel like there's just a lot happening. I mean, even China's getting into the Mars and lunar races, which is not new. They've been doing that for a while too. But now they've got all kinds of new rovers and rockets and things that
Yeah, they
they're
just landed
exploring
one
with.
actually. China
Yep.
just.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we're not alone. The United States is not the only ones on Mars now. Now China is there as well with their little rover, which is great. I mean, honestly, there's plenty of space. It's not like it's a tiny planet or anything. There's plenty of space for both of us. And I definitely just encourage more countries to jump on this bandwagon. The more research and things that we can learn about our fellow planets and how to get there, and all the struggles that go with this, is just going to help us just branch more out into space and learn more about our space neighbors, which is great. And I think this is wonderful. So I don't see this being a problem. I think this should continue as normal. So great news, everyone. Hopefully, we'll all be going to space soon, maybe in the next 15
Sign me up.
years.
Sign me up.
Right? Let's go. Let's go. Okay, so in other really awesome news, I had the privilege of my cousin, Mr. John Hudson, who works doing different sorry, my fan just blew some papers off my desk. That was really distracting. Does lots of reporting around the globe, usually doing more political things, which is probably why you've never really heard me bring him up before. And I'd love to watch him, do his work. And he's usually asking hard questions to the tough politicians, if you know what I mean. But in this particular instance, he got a chance to see probably something that most people on the globe will almost never get a chance to see, which was this awesome Icelandic volcano, which I'm going to try to pronounce the name too, which is Fagradalsfjall. I think I did that right. Is that pretty good?
With some coaching from Andy, it's Fagradalsfjall.
Thank you. Okay, I tried. I really tried hard there.
That's some really interesting pronunciations in there. It doesn't sound like it's spelled. It
does not sound anything like it is spelled.
That's the best he could come up with, and that's the best I was able to repeat it.
But it is a real volcano, yeah, it's definitely something to get excited about. Now, there was a bunch of volcanoes that ended up popping up over this last week. You probably heard us talk about it. I know you brought us a video a couple weeks ago of someone flying a drone into one of them.
Same volcano. Where.
Yep. And so wouldn't be surprised.
It's extremely active. Has extremely active geology. I think it was 2011. Volcanoes erupted and caused grounding of all the plains around there.
Yes, you're right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
I think it's one of these in that volcano chain, but we're getting a lot more activity right now.
Oh yeah.
It's a good thing, at least in this case, that Iceland does have a relatively small population and is. Yeah. Centered in small areas, so it's
that definitely helps the situation.
It's not ready to wipe out a town or anything, which is
you'll see that in the videos here as well, is that it's a very desolate spot where this volcano is, and it's not Pompeii explosions, but it definitely looks like at any moment a monster could just come crawling right out of that thing, just, but it doesn't. At any moment, none of that happens. But I'm going to play the first one here for you. Again, I'm sorry about our video feed being a little crazy today. Bear with me here. I'm going to try to get this in a better
that you have first-person footage from this. It's not something we pulled from anywhere. This was sent by a family member.
This was sent by my family, Mr. John Hudson. Again, and he also works. CBS did a special on this that he helped do some of the footage. For I'm sure some of the other gentlemen he was with probably had equally. You can tell this is probably done with I would imagine one of his iPhones. He's definitely an Apple fanboy by all means, and as a reporter, that's a great thing. So that's exactly what he should have. And as you can see, this is awesome. This video, I think it still has sound. Again, I don't know if you can hear much.
You can hear everybody cheering and just going, wow. That would be insane.
It is
and
really.
Next to it. I'm rather jealous that he got to see that.
Me too. I can't wait to talk to him this Christmas. Hopefully he'll be on this side of the globe. Again, he's always somewhere different.
We can get him on here to talk about some of the stuff that he's seeing. That would be a really cool opportunity.
Yes, I'm hoping I might even be able to try to do a full episode with him. I don't know if I was able to get him on today. I didn't send him the link and stuff, but I have not heard anything. So again, he's a very busy man. He's usually flying or going somewhere or someplace that's very remote and or is super secure, so you're not whipping your phone out and jumping on a Skype call or something. So yeah, you're in a press conference with the president or something. So usually a different story. But volcanoes is super cool, and I just had to share this with everybody. I'm gonna try and move my cameras around again here. I'm sorry if this is a pain, but that way we can see these other videos a little better. I have 4 other videos for you guys of this volcano. So let me turn that one off here. And let's turn on the second one. So here's the second video. I think I gotta move my other camera around again. Sorry, guys. There we go. Now you should be able to see. Okay. So, the Cookies Enabled logo is about to get burned by lava. But yeah. I absolutely think this is probably one of the coolest things. essentially what happened was, this part of Iceland is part of the Ring of Fire. There's a huge, really rift in the tectonic plates here, and you have two kind of, one shifting underneath while the other one's coming up, and these volcanoes are right on that ring, and they are very active. Again, there was up to 9 active volcanoes within the last week, and this is the only one that is still going, but it has not seemed to slowed down at all. It's not picking up steam either. Like the biggest eruptions you've seen, go a few, maybe 30, 40 feet high, and then they fall right back down. So again, they're not exploding out of there, but you can't get really close to this. This is one of those volcanoes. I'll post the link for the CBS news report, which they did a really good job. I'm sorry, I cannot remember the reporter that did that article. But it was really good. But again, John Hudson, my cousin, was the one that physically got this. You'll probably hear him go, "Whoa," or something, as in one of the videos. You can see particles of lava and gravel and rock coming shooting out of this. And in the CBS special, you get to hear what lava sounds like, which if you have never heard lava, it sounds like breaking glass slowly, very slowly breaking glass, because that's pretty much what it is. So it's just pure carbon breaking and burning and breaking and burning over and over again. So that is really, really cool. This is giving scientists ample opportunity to not only study the center of the Earth, but the different layers and the history, the science of lava, the surrounding environment, how it's impacting life, how it's changing the planet. And since this one is so active, it's giving them even more of an excuse to try to get out there. So he got really lucky and got to go with some of these scientists, geologists, and go explore. Here's a time lapse one. This one is kind of cool. It looks kind of like an Old Faithful, if it was Old Faithful was lava. But you can see how it kind of sprays out. So you got to keep your distance.
Old Faithful. I mean, it is a geyser, but it sits on top of the Yellowstone caldera, which now that's a volcano. If that ever erupts, if that goes, that's probably close to an extinction level event.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't want that to happen anytime soon.
Okay, here's one of my favorite videos. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but yeah.
A lot of what here, it allows for earlier detection of eruptions, ways to figure out how to mitigate any of the disasters that could come from them.
Right.
Same as studying earthquakes. So, I mean, the science behind all this, it is very important.
It's super important.
Not just for understanding of, the inner workings of the Earth, but also how to make sure that if something happens, we can.
Exactly.
I don't think we can, but you can, if we can tell, okay, this volcano near a city is most likely going to erupt in the next few days, then you can have better evacuation plans.
Absolutely.
So you can save lives. But at its core, it's still just an amazing opportunity for study.
I mean, I love watching these videos. Again, thank you, John. This is so cool. I've been watching them over and over again the last couple of days. Can't wait to talk about this. It has been probably some of the coolest footage I think I have ever seen. And I know he felt very lucky to be able to go do this. I mean, this is unbelievable. This is the last video that I got, and this one is a little more shaky, but it shows a lot more activity of the lava. So sorry that it's again, he didn't do the camera this way. He was vertical. So we got a little bit of a smushed picture, but it still looks fantastic thanks to iPhone and Apple and their amazing camera geniuses. But yes, this is really just amazing footage, and what an opportunity for not only the scientists, but for just the people in the area to explore and see their region be so active and alive without being really in any danger. They are several hundred feet away, no problem. And in the CBS episode, they do talk about how they can only get a few hundred feet because the heat is just so intense that it feels like
Oh
it's
yeah.
going to burn your face right off. Which I'm not surprised by that at all. I would not
And
doubt it
it's
for a
even more
second.
surprising how long that drone lasted.
Right,
You know,
yes, exactly. Yes, just like we saw a couple of weeks ago. If you missed that
we
episode,
need to find,
it's on
we
our
really
YouTube, so you can
find
definitely
out
check that out.
if he ever got sent some, equipment from that company. Who was it?
Oh,
Um,
uh,
the
shoot.
company that makes the
I cannot think of it. Now, Magic, Magic
Mavic,
Pro, Mavic
DJ
Pro.
High.
Yeah,
So maybe we'll reach out to DJ High and say, hey, did you send him anything? Because you
that poor
really
guy.
should.
Like for real.
Like
I
that
mean,
again. That's a PR. That's amazing for them. Like,
yes, it
look
is.
what the drones can do, and you know what? You showed this, so here's some free stuff. So,
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you again,
but
John. That was so awesome footage. What a privilege that I got to share that with the world. And hopefully, we all get to learn some new. I'm sure your local news, if not your national news, will be talking about that volcano. Again, I will be posting that CBS link for you guys to check that out as well. So definitely give that a look. Um, Now we do have a couple other topics. Now you wanted to share with us the lunar blood moon photo. This thing is really cool, and it's going to take
mhm,
up the whole screen for the most part.
yeah.
So I'm
Now
sorry about
this
that,
image
everybody, but it's
is
awesome.
from one of my favorite astrophotographers, John Krause.
There we go. Oh
He's
shoot.
pretty young. I want to say early 20s, but his photography has really gained traction in the photography world. I
Yeah.
don't remember which company, so I don't want to say the wrong one, but there is um, one of the one of this like rocket companies that saw one of his photos of their launch and said, "We want this." So now there's a 20-foot photo
Oh, I
of
love it.
the exhaust from one of the rockets at launch in their lobby. So being just a young guy or that you know I'm just doing this for fun. I'm putting it up on my Instagram. I have a
Right.
small website, and boom, this company is going to pay. Now he gets access to all of these different locations, remote camera setup near
Wow.
SpaceX launches, near European Space Agency launches,
Right.
all over the world. It's an amazing opportunity. So credit to him.
Yeah. Super cool
Please
picture.
do not file a copyright claim on us because I just wanted to share your work.
Right. We
And
just want to show this
I'm
and
also like
appreciate how
anybody who
amazing this
watches
is.
this, go and follow his pages. John
Yep.
Krause. Um, he- the work that he puts out is absolutely beautiful. This image is from, I think they call it the Space Rocket Garden,
Yeah. Rocket Garden. Yep. You
which
can
is
see
an apt
them.
name
Yeah.
for it. But you see a time lapse of the lunar eclipse right above it. Now,
Hmm.
unfortunately, we live in Michigan, so we didn't really get to see much.
Nah.
Apparently, it was somewhat visible, the beginnings of it,
Yeah. But
but we are unfortunately too far east to have really seen the eclipse in totality. This one was really cool because it was during the blood moon, they call it. It was, I think, a super moon, so it was a little
yeah,
bit closer
Supermoon is
to
what they were saying
us.
too. Yep. Yep.
We do have a little bit of an opportunity in a few weeks. We might be able to see a bit of a solar eclipse as well.
Oh yeah, I did
I
hear
got to
about that.
check to see where and when that's visible. But I mean, these happen all the time.
Right.
Some of them more frequently than others.
Right.
But whenever you get a chance, I think the last solar eclipse I saw was in 2017, and when I was living in Grand Rapids,
Yeah.
we actually went out during the day
Right.
with a made a pinhole camera
Right. The
out of a cereal
pizza
box, and it
box or
was really
whatever. Yeah.
entertaining to watch. I'm really hoping for one of these solar eclipses now that I have my telescope. If I get a sun,
Oh, yeah, that would be so
to
cool.
try to do some more photography, and if I ever get that chance, we'll share it definitely. So,
Sorry, my neighbors are making a bunch of noise, but you're good.
well,
That
so
I
I'm
just
looking
heard
forward to
something.
something like that. They're really it's a cool phenomenon to watch. It's really weird
Right.
to where it feels like dusk in the middle of the day and it's dark, but it's not at the same time.
Right.
It's
Right. You're
really
like, I'm
fun.
tired, but I don't know why.
I've watched before. Maybe we'll link to it.
Yes. Yeah, we'll
Again,
definitely.
Smarter Every Day is one of the channels I really like to watch, and
Okay.
he worked with one of his friends, and they did the math. They plotted out the course that
Okay.
the total the solar eclipse shadow would take across the United States.
Right. Okay.
Then they cross-referenced that with where the space station would cross over that shadow line.
Oh.
So basically, so where the
Oh.
space station
Okay. I
right
see what you're talking
across the
about.
sun
Yeah.
during solar eclipse, and I think it was Wyoming. I could
Okay.
be wrong, but it's one of those states, and they found it, and there
Huh.
was the exact center where you would have a total
Right.
solar eclipse while the space station transited in front of the sun was in this guy's farm, and they went out there and they it was on I believe a reservation, so they normally would not have
Right.
access
Yeah.
to there.
Normally that's a big no-no.
But one of the landowners, knew they did photography for this his friend's wedding, so coincidentally they managed to get footage. So they're out there with
Hmm.
these lenses, these
Right.
camera telescopes. He's got a lens hooked up to one of his Canons or Nikons that probably cost as much as a car, timing this down, and the video's great. You watch
Right.
them counting down until it's supposed to transit 3, 2, 1, and you hear the camera just click, 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 click. When
That's
they
so cool.
processed the photos afterward, you had this image of the solar eclipse
Right.
with superimposed. You can see the shape of the space station going across it. I'll have to dig up the photo and show you guys.
Yeah, that does sound cool.
But that's the one place in America where you could see that,
Huh.
and it just happened to be at the right time. So
What a
that's
coincidence.
something I'd
That's
love to see.
super
I
cool.
would love to see that.
I mean, not coincidence, but you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just a whole setup. Very interesting. What was the other thing? Oh, so we have a couple other random topics here. Again, we're kind of all over the place. We talked about space. We talked about the volcano. We talked about the blood moon. So we have this new robot that might be coming out. Well, I mean, I should say it's out. It's already out. They've been using it in Japan. This is nothing new for them, but it's huge for the United States because people are like, oh, jobs taking jobs away. This is an example of jobs not being taken away and just extra help being added, essentially. Which I know sounds kind of weird, but you'll see exactly what I'm talking about here. So this is technically, it was known as Penny the Robot. Now it is known as Servi the Robot. And Servi literally is exactly what it sounds like. It is built and designed with the same technology as the driving vehicles, so it can kind of guess where people are going to be walking and traffic flows and avoid interactions or running into obstacles and things and deliver food right to a table without the server having to really be there. Or maybe the server needs help carrying food. It can only hold one or two things. Now Servi can come along and help deliver the rest of the food, or pick up trash and collect dirty plates. Even help collect the check. So Servi is definitely being used in a few local towns in California, as well as I want to say Arizona and Florida have started using Servi as well, especially because of COVID. You can program Servi to speak in different languages and even play music when it's moving around. Obviously, it has the LED lights on it to kind of indicate that it's moving and it's coming your way, kind of thing. But as you can see, like the guy pulls out a chair and it just moves right around the chair, and this lady's walking towards it, and it just kind of figures that she's going to go to the right, it'll go to the left. I don't know how accurate this thing would be in a real life situation. If you had kids running around at a McDonald's or whatever, I don't think this is going to be as amazing as they're showing you in this video. I think practically for bars and smaller restaurants, I think like Olive Garden and Applebee's, this is perfect. You already kind of have a bar set up with different tiers of the restaurant usually, so you could have a server on the second tier to deliver drinks to people, and the server does the rest. So again, this is more of a helping hand, not supposed to replace your server. This is supposed to help. your server. And
Well, I
again,
see
just
it
kind
more
of,
as a proof of concept, just an idea that
yeah,
someone came up. I don't see it ever really gaining traction, though.
no, I don't
Um,
think we really need this,
I mean,
especially in
nothing
Michigan.
really has, especially in the service industry. In Ann Arbor, I saw the little robots that would deliver your food. That's
Right.
one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when the service workers are basically the backbone of America, which they really are,
Yes,
and
you
I think
are. It
the
really is
pandemic
true.
really showed people, let people understand that more. They should be paid better, obviously. They
Yeah.
should be compensated fairly. So those are some big issues that people are working through right now. You see the signs, nobody wants to work. Well, nobody wants to work for crap wages.
Right. That's really
They
what it
do want
is.
jobs, but you have to pay them fairly. And the knee-jerk reaction to something like this, is yeah, it's going to take away jobs. You're going to see this in a few places, and
Hmm.
they're probably going to get rid of it eventually after it breaks, or they'll try it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's ever going to get rid of bartenders or servers or
No.
anything like that, or bussers. If we've had some of this technology for a while and we haven't seen it happen yet,
No. No, this,
maybe.
like I said, this is not new technology.
uh,
It's just getting cheaper, and this is like a GoFund account that has actually started, taking off. Surprisingly, I'm just surprised it's popping up more and more in the United States. And that's what's getting me is that, like just pretty much all the stuff you pointed out already. There's so many reasons we don't need this, but I can see how this would be helpful for, let's say, hotels and room service. You could easily have Servi on every floor and just have a dumb waiter, like deliver the food to Servi, and she just, goes down the aisle and knocks on your door and
now
delivers your
that
food.
that
That
sort
would
of thing.
work.
um,
But you're not really replacing a job at that point. I guess you have a bell person for that. But again, I don't want to walk up 8,000 flights of stairs for your steak dinner. I mean, like,
they, they
I'm
do
hungry
make
too.
elevators. Just
But
saying, they do make elevators. You don't
no,
have
they
to take the
don't.
stairs.
They don't make those.
Elevators don't exist. They're a lie.
But yeah, so in most cases, I really don't see this taking off at every local restaurant. I don't think McDonald's or anybody's going to be getting Surfy anytime soon. I think this is going to be more hospitals, hotels, airports, malls, places, where this would make sense, where you have hordes of people grouped together and you need a way to get something from point A to point B, and you don't want to send a person to do it. This is where Survey comes in, and that's exactly what it's made to do. And I think this could actually be helpful. It doesn't seem super expensive, considering the technology is exactly what you'd find on like a Tesla car or whatever. It's just crammed into this tiny little serving device thing, with some like a little hover round, or
Yeah.
what are the vacuum cleaners? Man, I'm totally drawing a blank on those too. What are the vacuum cleaners that drive or go around your house and
Roombas.
Roombas? Thank you. Yes, I could think R, but I couldn't think of the rest of the words. So yeah, Roomba. That's pretty much a Roomba that serves you your dinner, but it's not vacuuming the floor at the same time. Now that would be
Or,
impressive. That would be really impressive. It should do that. They should have incorporated that into Servi. I'll buy one.
well, make sure to pick up your cords. Apparently, Roombas like to eat cords.
Really? I mean, I guess that does make sense. I can see that.
Oh, wait.
I'm a cord person. I prefer cords over wireless because of interference reasons. Wireless has always been a pain for me. I've never had a good go with wireless. I'll say that. Except for maybe with my phone. That's been pretty good, other than the bill. So, anyway, our last topic of the day, or one of them anyway, is this Tesla water valve that I have discovered, which
Not the company,
nothing new.
the inventor.
The what?
Not the company, the
Yeah,
inventor. For
not the
clarification.
company, not the Tesla car company. This is Tesla, versus Edison kind of situation. That Tesla, the one that came up with the AC current that we use to deliver power to your house right now. So that is the Tesla that came up with this crazy looking thing, which is actually a water valve that does not have any moving parts. So how this would work, and I know this looks crazy, and I tried to get some videos. There are tons of this thing on YouTube. Just search Tesla water valve on YouTube. And there's a few great videos out there on how this works, and they explain the fluid mechanics behind the
Hmm.
mechanism,
I was just
and,
thinking
and
it's
really the
basic
thinking
fluid
here.
dynamics
It is
and
very basic stuff. It's essentially what these loops are on the side is it's actually taking the water flow and converting it completely 180 degrees, so it's actually pushing the water flow back onto itself. So every time there's a loop, if the water is coming through one way, it'll just go through the loop and flow with the regular flow. And if you reverse this, it can barely get through because its own pressure is pushing back on itself, which causes these little swirly vortex. Now this is actually fire that is being pushed through this line, and they were demonstrating this in one of the YouTube videos. And this is a still from it. Again, I didn't want to steal anybody's work. They did a great job explaining how this works, and I'm not trying to, steal anything from anybody. I'm just trying
we
to
can just
relay
link to
the information because this is now
description.
becoming it's being added to so many new devices and things that nobody really thought of before, that had mechanical moving parts in them. Now they don't need them because of this. And one of them is jet engines that used to use
That makes
special fuel tanks and fuel shutoff lines. Now they don't need them because this won't let the fuel go backwards. It will only go one direction. And so it's epic. I think this could really redesign a lot of very complex machinery that we have, could become so much easier because now you have one direction flow, and that can make this somewhat stable without having a million moving parts that you got to maintain and make sure they're not getting rusty and oil them or whatever. Which is always a problem. In fact, if you had one of the videos I watched was pretty much describing this. The scenario was, can you have water flowing in a pipe and turn it on or off without a moving part? And I couldn't honestly think of a way to do it. But Tesla figured it out. That was a huge
oh, of
one of
course
the
he
things that he was trying to work on, and we knew had this patent, but we didn't understand it for the longest time, or really understand how to use this particular technology until really just the last 5 years. They're really starting to figure out how to apply it to real world technologies, and whoa, it has been helpful. Pretty revolutionary, which is cool. Really cool stuff. Super exciting. I know it doesn't seem like it. It doesn't look like much. Again, I'm really sorry I don't have a video for you of this, but I didn't want to get stuck. Someone saying I'm trying to steal their work or take claims of anything. I'm
the,
not. I'm
yeah, the
just
last thing we need is a YouTube copyright claim on our video. Again,
again,
I've
yes, this has happened before
it
with
happens
music and
all the
sounds
time.
and stuff. So
Uh,
yeah,
there have been stories
BBC.
of people live streaming on YouTube or Facebook, and if they're in public and they walk past a cafe that's playing a song, boom, they get hit with a copyright infringement because it picked
Really?
up seconds of the song.
Oh, see,
Again,
and that's
these
that's
are
the annoyance.
algorithms.
Yeah,
This is when a video is processed, it's a computer program to listen through the audio for
exactly.
matching wavelengths, which makes sense. No one's getting paid at YouTube to just sit and watch every single video, which
No,
would be
that's not
impossible to
happening.
begin with. Um, the fun thing is, once in a while, if you do dispute a copyright claim, you can at times request a legitimate review by a person,
Right.
which can be fun because then you can force someone to sit and watch every single second to make sure.
But it's also extremely
But
lengthy
so
process
I
with no
get how it
guarantee.
works. I get how it works, but maybe that's something
Right.
they have to look into, figuring out how to discern between background noise or tie it to GPS. Okay, well, we just heard 2 seconds of the song, but it's in public. So, but again, with so much data and so many videos being uploaded every day to YouTube, it's almost impossible to make it perfect. There's always going to be some, but that's why they allow you to dispute
Right.
copyright claims.
Right. And
Either
that's
way, we don't
yeah.
have a video, but we can link to it in the description. That's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Which
Yep.
definitely.
And I plan on doing. There's a great one that I watched. I'm sorry, I cannot think of the name of the group. I should pull it up on my phone really quick. But they did an amazing job and really great visuals showing how the water really comes back on itself, and where the flow is really stopped, and you get these backlogs of flow. and that is key. So that's the whole point of this, is so that way, you know, there's actually another video. I did not watch this one, I'm sorry, but the guy made a straw, and he demonstrates how if he uses the straw one direction, he can drink just fine. Flips the straw around, he can't get any water through the straw at all. So that is exactly the idea here, is that there's not a valve, there's not a switch, there's not a lever, there's no moving parts in this at all, which is a huge deal for fluid mechanics, of being able to build valves that don't backlog on themselves without an actual moving part. Has never been done. And apparently we were all sitting on this technology for 1,000 years, didn't even realize it. Sorry, Tesla. But at least he's getting the proper credit for it, and that's really why I was trying to bring this up, is that Tesla is one of those scientists that really never got credit for anything that he did, much of what he did during his own living time. And it wasn't until after he died and decades later that we're realizing how critical his research was to not just technology, but modern mechanics and chemistry, geography, everything. I mean, the list goes on and on. He was spirituality. There was everything. I mean, it's all in there. There was nothing he wasn't investigating, pretty much. So that was just a really cool guy. That really just knows a ton of stuff, and really would love. I'm probably going to do a whole episode on him in the future. Why not? Tesla, I mean, I kind of did one on computers history, which included, I didn't get to talk about Tesla because he didn't really do much other than AC, which we don't even use for computers.
I share a birthday with Tesla, so that's always cool.
Right. I forget. That is super cool, actually. Very cool. But I think that's actually all we had for you guys today. I mean, we had some really awesome footage of the volcanoes. We talked about the robots today. We talked about the Tesla water valve, the blood moon, Virgin Galactic, SpaceX. Holy crap, what a day. That was a lot of stuff to cover. So if you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, or you want a full episode on something, or you want us to really dig into whatever it is, robotics or Tesla or volcanoes, or I don't know, let us know. I do have some connections, as you can see. I was able to get some amazing footage of volcanoes, and I know Andrew's got all kinds of connections as well, which hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get some inner workings of the bridge hydraulics, possibly. I don't know.
I am working on it. Now, that sort of thing would be, that could be tricky. We have to be
so careful.
It depends on what is that. Considering that it is a bridge between, like crossing, for US 31, it is major state infrastructure. So there are a lot of security, issues.
Yeah, I'm not trying to
may or may
sound
not
any
be
bells.
But I am talking to the to MDOT to try to see what is allowed. If nothing is, then I've got some footage from publicly accessible locations with some history on the bridge. I can easily put that, but we're hoping to try to get some sort of media tour or even an interview with the bridge operator or an engineer. So we'll see. Again, that's something I completely understand. There's safety issues, especially like for medical problems.
Right.
Because of where it is, if an ambulance had to get across that bridge and it was gone, they'd have to go miles down Lake Charlevoix and cycle back over. So there is a lot of safety issues with this infrastructure.
Right.
Obviously, if they say we can do something, I'm going to film. If they don't, I understand. And we have to be very careful with that. I completely understand that.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm not trying to do anything. We just trying to get some cool videos for you guys. I know the volcano was super cool, but yeah, I mean, there's so much other awesome stuff out there. Like, I'm trying to get that data center video as well, which haven't heard anything back from them. I might actually send them another email. And there was a couple other random phone numbers I might try to call today and see if I can get a hold of somebody. Because I would just like a tour. I just want to look through the building. I can dress up and look like I'm a millionaire. Let me look through. But no, we were trying to get you guys some amazing content here. But if you have any specific topics that you guys want us to cover, or you want to see a full episode, short episode, live discussion, definitely let us know. Drop it in the comments. Check us out on our Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page. We're pretty much everywhere. Just search Cookies Enabled, and you look for us. We'll definitely be there. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in today. Hopefully we all learned something new, and I definitely like and subscribe if you haven't. I know we're definitely doing pretty good there. I think most of our watchers, it's at least 60% of our watchers are subscribed. So thank you for that. That is huge. Most channels do not get that kind of subscription. It's more than 50%, so I'm super stoked about that. Thank you. And we're over 600 views, so keep them coming, everybody. Again, if you want to see more topics or specific topics, definitely drop them in our comments. Shoot us an email. Let us know what's up, and we will definitely get on that, everybody. But have a great day. Hopefully we all learned something new, and I will see you guys all later. Take it easy, everybody.